saying? Yeah. The fanatic. But we keep it 100, keep it real. That's the only way we know how to be. Talking that sports talk. You know what I'm saying? Straight out of South Carolina. Upstate, A64. Yeah. The FANATTIC. The fanatic where we keep it OG. We talking sports, so I call what.
Welcome into the Fanatic Sports Channel for sports fans by a sports fan. It's your boy Coach I. Hey man, it's we heading into week 2. College football off a really interesting and exciting college football week 1, man. Y'all see I got my guy JJ in here. It's the Pitt, Tennessee preview. I told y'all he's going to be back, man. We're working up so that we can get his following going, and he'll have his own one probably going into the next season, man. So we're going to jump right into this thing. What's going on, JJ?
Nothing much, man. Always good to be on. Good to be 1-0, won the backyard brawl, and ready for Tennessee.
That's right, man. Let's talk about that backyard brawl, man. You guys came out with the dub. I think West Virginia is a little bit better than people thought they were. At least the defensive line. I didn't know about it. That defensive line looked good to me, but you guys got a great dub on Thursday. If you want to be that championship caliber team, man, you got to be able to win those close ones, and Pitt definitely pulled that off.
Yeah, man. I think West Virginia played a good game. Pitt did some good things, but they also did a bunch of things that need corrected. And I think that overall, when you look at it, one, I think none of us knew that Gabe Hoy wasn't going to play the starting right tackle. He was hurt. They rotated Blake Zubovic and Jake Cradleton at right guard. That was a little bit of a surprise. And then just the offense, there was just some, for first games. You know what I mean? It's the first game of the year. You just don't know what you're going to get. I thought the offense did okay. Keaton still threw 16 to 24, plus 300 yards. Had a touchdown. Didn't have any picks. But 4 or 5 sacks, which was really different. I think just because of the rotation they had going through. And then, got to give WVU's defensive line credit. I thought Dante Stills played a great game. Jefferson was in there. And then, obviously, when we did our preview of the game, I said, Bryce Ford Wheaton was going to be that guy. If Bryce
you
Ford
did,
Wheaton,
you did. That was the guy you said you was worried about.
And I'll tell you what, man, he was that guy. If he didn't play, which is, I hope WVU fans, give him some slack. I know he dropped that ball, and I know he popped it up to where it became an interception. But give that guy give him a break. If Bryce Ford Wheaton wasn't in that game, West Virginia's not in that game at all. He was an absolute stud. C.J. Donaldson, and you couldn't stop him at any point during the game. Misalignments for Pitt. It was very, very weird. We only gave up 214 yards passing, but 190 yards rushing. It was just like the complete opposite of what we're used to. And it came down to alignments. Stunts. It was a sloppy game, but like they say, great teams find a way to win. And Pitt came out on top with a huge play, which you called it. It was a turnover to win the game. Interception. It's funny how that works. It's almost like we know what we're talking about.
It's just a little bit, just a little bit.
But it's good. It's going to be 1-0. You beat a Power 5 team. I think that helps them propel them for this week.
Hey, that's all that what you just said is true, man. You 1-0 and you beat a Power 5 team. It doesn't matter how you did it, who you did it against. You came out on the other side clean with a dub, man. So going into this, man, and I don't know who was scheduling these games a couple of years ago, man. They scheduled them a couple of years in advance. They was like, okay, let's just do it, man. Let's just come out of the gates. Let's take 2 Power 5 OOCs right now, man, because you guys got Tennessee this weekend, man. Y'all beat them last year, man, 41-34 at Tennessee, mind you. And then this year you get guys at the house, man. So how you feeling about that play call and that offense going up against Tennessee this weekend?
So, it was funny on the Twitter space today that I did. I talked about how, there's going to be some corrections. I think the benefit is, Pitt fans talked about being a little concerned because of the run game. I told them too. Tennessee faced Ball State. Pitt didn't face Ball State. Pitt faced the West Virginia Mountaineers in the backyard brawl. So it's the first game. Not everything's going to go right. Pitt won that game by playing an average game. The way I look at it is I would like to see them open it up a little bit more, especially in the passing game. But you know what? You saw Mumfield. Mumfield was a terrific route runner, I think, all night. Slovis missed him on a deep ball earlier in the game. The play action was there. I think Bob Means dropped one that he usually doesn't drop.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing is just correct what's inside, especially when you're running that run game that they have now. Maybe the way I look at it, just ditch the. I would love to see them ditch the fullback. Just it's not doing anything. Ditch the fullback. I understand to do that fullback dive, which got him like 4 or 5 yards each time they ran it. But allow Slovis to be from the shotgun. If you're going to run it, that's fine. If you want to go under center, that's fine too, because the play action was there all night. I mean, he just had a couple misses. Jared Wayne had a good game. I look at it, just it was 50-50 really the whole night. But I think against this team, we'll see how they do against their offensive line, because Pitt rushed for 100 yards last year. So I think that apply dominance on the offensive line. I think that'll be huge. But allow yourself to open it up. You have tons of weapons. Bartholomew at tight end. I expect Carter Johnson to be back this week. He was in the ICU with an infection. He didn't play against West Virginia. That completely changed their game set from how they were using their tight ends. And you still got Mumfield, Means, Jared Wayne, and expect Jalen Barden to play more this week. Pat Narduzzi talked today just how important it was for him to get more reps. He's a guy that did well during camp. He deserves to get more reps. The way I see it is that they're going to give him more time. I really do think, the way Cignetti runs his offense is, look, he knows matchups. The biggest thing that I look at in the Tennessee this week is their weakness is their defense. It's their linebacking core and their DBs. I watched the Ball State game. Ball State got crushed, but in that first drive especially, you saw the way that the Tennessee's defensive backs were struggling. And heck, even their Ball State's offensive line was getting some push up front. So really, if it comes down to it, see the management out there, see your matchups, and really try to distribute the ball from different points of angles. You just like to see it really just open up. And don't get me wrong, if Pitt runs the ball and they're averaging 5 yards a game, 5 yards an attempt, run the ball all game. I don't care. But try to find those matchups where you can be successful.
Yeah, I think, like you said, I would like to see Pitt open up a little bit. But when you play on a team like Tennessee, I think your offense can be some help to your defense in games like that because of the matchup on the other side of the ball. And if you guys are getting 5 yards a pop, that's going to keep your offense on the field, keep your defense well rested, you know what I'm saying? Because we already know regardless of how successful their offense is, they're going to go 100, trying to go to 100 plays. So if your offense can stay on the field and Cap drives off, with scores, not just stay on the field, but Cap drives off with touchdowns, field goals here and there, but just definitely scores and keep their offense off the field that whole time. I think that'll be good. Those players that you named, Bub Means, you called it, man. I watched the Backyard Brawl. The dude's good, man. Like you say, I thought you guys would be able to run the ball a little bit better. But when you did it pretty decent. But I just felt like you guys, I don't know. I said when I hear Pitt, Narduzzi, all that, it's just like all physical. So maybe that's why they keep the fullback in, because that fullback says we're a physical football team. You know what I'm saying? Like we're gonna come and smash it down your mouth. So. But to the other side of the ball, man, like your guys' defensive line played good. I think I wanted them to play better. You know what I'm saying? They played good, but I expect the defensive line to play better anyway. How'd you feel about your defensive performance and going into Tennessee, man? Because they're going to have to get some pressure on what is that? Hendon Hooker. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because of how fast they go. If you don't pressure him, that could be a potential problem.
Yeah, so I think the good stuff, the DBs played phenomenal. I mean, they only got 214 yards to an air raid offense. You can't get any better than that, and I think they did a lot better than what people expected. There were a couple plays that you kind of just were Pitt's defensive line created pressure all night, especially when Alexander hit Daniels' arm and the ball popped up in the air, and still Bryce Ford-Wheaton still came down with the ball. That's a shocker. When you have 3 defensive backs around there, don't look at it. Don't wait for you to come to you. Go up and get it. Bryce Ford-Wheaton went up and got it. That should have been a pick. And if anything, it should have been a pick 6 too. So, and at that point, it was 10-7 Pitt. It could have been a 17-7 ball game. You start opening it up. You start really create total distance. And Pitt had plenty of opportunities to do that. A little shocked by that. The defensive line, in my opinion, I think in the pass rush created pressure all night. The only thing that I was just absolutely shocked with is West Virginia. They really didn't try any deep balls. I mean, it was more
No.
like it was more the swing game. So it was kind of like Graham Harrell was like basically saying, look, we can't block them, so we're just going to do the swing game all night. We're going to try to run slants. We're not going to do anything because the amount of plays where they went running back on the flat, was just even in the crowd. We looked at the game. We're like, man, they're not pushing the ball down the field at all. It was kind of weird.
If
It wasn't like it was like really strange.
if you go back, watch the Clemson Georgia game last year when JT Daniels started for us, we did kind of the same thing. It's like I don't know if that was to get JT kind of in rhythm and then they was going to take a shot, but against Pitt, they never seen the opportunity to take a shot. I think Tennessee will take shots. I don't think that's their goal, though. I think their goal is just 5 or 6 plays during the game to catch you off guard because you didn't line up quickly. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're gonna throw it out to the wide receiver screens, slants, quick passes, get up to the line, and no huddle. You know what I'm saying? And then those 4 or 5 times when they can catch you sleeping is, can your back end be, even if the linebackers aren't lined up, can your safeties be lined up so that a bad play doesn't turn into a worse play? You know what I'm saying? And then how you feeling about having to defend Hendon Hooker because he's way more mobile than JT Daniels. We all know that.
Yeah, I think that the biggest thing is, like you said, what like Pat Narduzzi talked about today. They're going to run plays between 7 to 10 seconds. The biggest thing is one of the things that Pitt did really well last year was creating pressure and multiple turnovers. I mean, Pitt had 3 turnovers in that game last year,
Facts.
2 fumbles, an interception. So they got to do the same thing. I think that what we're going to face this week is the same thing that you saw last year. This is going to be the real air raid offense. They're going to make sure they have Hendon Hooker in the shotgun the entire game. They're going to set out wide. They want to spread you out, put guys out on both sides, especially all the way down towards the sideline. I think that if they create pressure, okay, and the DBs are a lot. I'm honestly really shocked at how well the DBs played early. In the first game, I expected some more confusion. Missed routes. A couple guys fell down, but when you came to big plays, there were none last week. If they can do the same thing this week, where they really defend, especially deep balls, where they talked about Pitt worked on that all week, I think that the biggest thing is between this week and last week, Pitt knows what they're going to get out of Tennessee. They didn't know what they're going to get out of West Virginia, and there was so much knowledge. Pat Narduzzi talked about, he's going to know he knows exactly what Heupel is going to do. It's going to be a fast-paced offense, get guys in and off the field, make sure you create pressure on the ends, up the middle, make sure your linebacker plays in play, your coverages are there. If Pitt can do that, it'll be their day. Now, if they're not getting pressure and guys and DBs are getting confused in coverages, it could be a long day. But I think just from watching this team play last week, playing average and still getting a win, I think it's going to be a close game either way. I really do. It's going to be close. And I think Pitt's defense showed it last year. They can do it. But I think that, again, I still think Pitt's going to have to score 30 points to win the game. You know what I mean? For how many plays are going to be in the game. It's not like a regular game.
Yeah, exactly. I think you hit all the good points, man, and not just rushing the passer, but rushing the passer from the edges because, again, when they're running this up-tempo offense, they're liking to hike the ball, throw it right to the wide receiver on the outside. But if you can create pressure on the edges, you can disrupt that timing and give your DBs a chance to get back in place and things of that nature. And even when Hendon Hooker has to scramble, you got a middle linebacker, that's kind of waiting for him. And you said it also, man, you got to score 30 plus. Whoever, I think, like you said, it's going to be a good game. I think the winner's definitely going to, because like last year, it was 41-34. So I think we're looking a little bit of the same, man. So, I mean, with that said, let's go ahead and get your predictions, JJ. What you thinking, man? What's the score and what's going to be the key to the game?
So really, the way that I look at this is, Hendon Hooker's a heck of a quarterback. I think he's going to play well. But I think that one huge benefit is, Pitt won down in Tennessee in Neyland Stadium last year. The game's at Pitt this year. I'm expecting another great crowd out of Pitt. I think, the biggest corrections you find are from week 1 to week 2 in Narduzzi's defense and his offense, especially with Cinetti. I'm going to have Pitt winning this game, and I'm going to have Pitt win 35-32. I think it's going to be there. I think there's going to be more ball control this year. I think just Pitt's going to make the corrections. I think they're, they know what they have this year with Tennessee. They're not slouched on Tennessee. I know I was getting some heat this week from some Tennessee fans saying they're going to put up 50 points on Pitt and it's going to be a blowout and they're going to shut out Pitt. I'm like, you would have thought we lost we don't have a team playing at all this year from what Tennessee fans are saying. But I don't know, man. I got 35-32. It's going to be a close game like it was last year, and it'll be both teams scoring 30+ again.
I got you. This week I need to see, and you and I kind of talked about it on Twitter during the game last week while you were at the game. I want to see better play calling from Pitt. I think Pitt has the athletes to do it. I don't know if they utilized everybody. I mean, they came out with a dub against WVU, but I think it could have been a little bit better. And I think they're going to need to do that against Tennessee. Tennessee's kind of working with the whole revenge factor. I don't know if that actually plays a factor, but I'm pretty sure they've been talking about it since the offseason because they did take that L at home to the Panthers. I honestly, man, I've been back and forth with this, man, because I feel like Pitt has the better defense. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Keaton Slovis did show a good showing in the first game. The offensive line kind of worries me. I think you guys gave up like 4 or 5 sacks. I don't know. I still don't know about this one, man. I need to be able to call a tie. I don't know. I think I might smell a little overtime in this game, man. I might smell I might smell a little overtime in this game, and I'm going to take Tennessee by 3, man, 34-37, and I think that may have to come in overtime just because, like I said, I think you guys definitely had a better defense. I could be wrong, and I need your offensive line to play a little bit better this week coming up because they can't let Keaton get hit like that again. No. That's not going to be a good recipe. But, yeah, I'm going to go with a 3-point win, 37-34, Tennessee.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a close game, and just from if Pitt gets if Pitt makes the corrections, I just think what's gonna help Pitt a little bit is that Tennessee's gonna come in a little light, because one they crushed Ball State, and then Hendon Hooker didn't play even a full game. I just think that we'll see, but I think that Tennessee's a better team than they were last year. But I think it's gonna be a close game regardless. And I agree with you. It's gonna be a 3-way swing either way. That's the way I look at it.
I think it's gonna be one of the better games. It's at 3:30, middle of that prime spot. I think it's gonna be one of the better games this weekend, man. So we'll see how it is and go from there, man. We appreciate you getting back in. Pitt fans, again, hey, JJ, tell them where they can find you on Twitter for right now until the podcast is released, man.
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter at JJ_Kitchen40. That's JJ_Kitchen40, and thank you all the Pitt fans that support. It's really appreciated, and man, let's go get another W. Let's go 1-0 this week.
That's right, man. Y'all watch out for JJ and his Twitter spaces, man. He may do something during the game or whenever, but make sure you jump on that. And thanks for coming in to Fan Addict for the preview, man. For JJ Kitchen and Pitt, man, it's Coach out of Fan Addict. We out of here.
We got it jumping like it's that valley. I call my dogs out the pound. Let's go eat. Turn on the Fan Addict. Let's have a debate. Who really hold down the Southeast from state to state? What team hungry gonna eat everything up off their plate?